Okay. You're lovable no matter what. I feel a lot of shame coming up because we're going to talk about stealing. And when I was a little girl, I never heard no, and I would steal. And then I got caught a couple times and I didn't like how I felt. Shame and regret, so I stopped. And growing up privileged, I always heard yes. And I learned certain things I wasn't taught the hard way because I wasn't very close to my parents. I was raised mostly by nannies. And my brother and sister were sent away to boarding school, and I was also sent away. And so I didn't have the opportunity to learn socializing skills of the humans. Things like stealing. Things like how to give and receive empathy. So one of the things that I feel a lot of shame about is stealing. And I went through a phase recently where Daisy was used to hearing yes, and then Daisy made a decision, I'm gonna feel the pinch of the market economy, and only for so long are you able to float a certain lifestyle, and all of a sudden everything runs out. And here I am in a situation where now I'm hearing no to my universal needs. And I had my values like I don't steal, because I learned that when I was little from getting caught. I don't want that. I don't want to feel like that. Then my story started to change, because as my needs were not getting met, I started to think things like, why should I be hungry? Why do they have the good trash in there? Like, all these people going in and having this really good food, like, where is that trash? And then finding it in the alley and it's locked. I can't even get the good trash and then the trash, and it's like I'm literally eating out of the trash and eating after people, and I'm hearing no to my basic universal needs. And I just decided, like, I'm not gonna hear no. My values are abundance. The principles I want to live by is, I am meant to thrive. And basic principles, like, we are all meant to thrive. There is no such thing as deserve. And I began to see stealing as something that doesn't exist. It was a social construct that's not real. And just like I didn't learn proper socializing before, that I'm still learning proper socializing. I may have learned wrong socializing. I don't know. So what happened was I stole this juice at 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗥𝗧, and I put it in the thing after drinking it, and then the worker comes over and hands it to me. And I looked at him and I smiled and I said, thank you. And I nodded and I smiled and I walked over to the register and paid for it. And I felt shame and regret, and I was like, what is this? Like, before I felt self-righteous. I felt right, but it was adrenaline based. It didn't feel good. Like, this feels more real and more vulnerable. I think that stealing is not within my values. So I talked to my therapist, I did EMDR, so I realized, like, I don't want to steal. And then this is like fairly recent, because I'm not going to have to steal, because what has happened is I actually don't drink a green juice and a big giant coconut smoothie, and I don't have as much intake as I used to. I find that I need a lot less than I did, and that I can actually live off of what I get, and I can get free groceries, free everything else, and that my general relief's enough, and that if it's not, that I can hear no, and I can just go without my needs. And that sometimes I'll meet my needs within the trust in the universe, my community, interdependent relationships. I can meet my needs in other ways besides market economy, which is what I stand for. And I realized, like, what do I think about stealing? So here's what I think about stealing. I believe that when you are constantly hearing no to your basic needs, and it could even be having someone understand you, having someone give you kindness. If you're not getting basic needs met, then you're not going to trust, you're not going to care about anyone else. It's going to be like all about me, because I'm not getting my needs met, so my relationships in the universe, and it's not working, because otherwise I would be getting my needs met. So then you're going to other. And what I realize about stealing is I don't like it because I'm othering. I'm seeing these others as they're gonna say no to me. They're not gonna give me what I want. And because of that, I want to honor their consent, and I don't want to harm them. And I'm worried that I would disturb and some way harm them if I take something without them wanting me to. And because I want to belong to the group, and that's part of my values, is to belong to each other and to not cause harm, to be a life-enriching present, it's not within my values to steal. And I needed to go through this period of stealing and taking stuff pretty unapologetically right in people's faces, just putting it in my bag, and because it's groceries, right? I should be able to eat my food. To now, like, I'm perfectly fine just getting, there's a tremendous amount of really amazing food available that I can go get. And it turns out I don't need cold pressed juices. The reason I'm bringing this up is it doesn't matter what stage of developmental learning and growth someone is in, we need to acknowledge a few things that I've just demonstrated. Number one, we live in a world where the stimulus around us is such that we feel disconnected, so we don't learn proper socialization. Number two, we're going to make mistakes because of this. We're going to socialize in ways that harm and offend because we're not living in a world that properly socializes us. This is just neutral information. This doesn't mean we punish and reward. Now we're influencing through coercion. We don't want that anymore. What we actually want, which is going to give us more honesty and vulnerability from others, is we actually want to meet people where they're at with love and say, hey, you know what, it's okay that you're stealing. Like, let's figure out some other ways, because, like, don't you feel a little bit of shame and shock when people find out that you stole or catch you? And don't you want to make friends who give you stuff and you have this flush of oxytocin and serotonin instead of feeling all that adrenaline and cortisol when you're walking out the door and hoping no one stops you? And how do you want to feel? And if we sit here and we're curious and compassionate, we'll see that stealing is actually just a behavior, and this is how I want the love enforcement to show up. It's not a crime. Every behavior, no matter how violent, it is an expression of a universal need. So if we identify every type of behavior and we specify, okay, well, if they hit, it probably means that they need to be understood, need to be known, they need some breath work, they might need some co-regulation, they might need empathy. It'll have a huge list of needs. And now we can send a love enforcement officer to give empathy guesses and to meet universal needs. So imagine if we meet the needs and we say, hey, my brother, my sister, in order to assist you in not stealing, if that is what you want, what needs can we meet for you? Why are you stealing? Oh, I need this and this and this and this. Done. Like, let's get you in touch with this, this and this and this, and let's meet needs. So ultimately, I know what you guys are thinking. You're so shameless, Daisy. You're a criminal. You had 6 felonies, and you're coming close to 40 misdemeanors. How are you getting out scot-free with no dust on your shoulders? Riding and slipping and sliding through the mental health court system, getting more resources, and having the system work for you. And I say that, how do I have the audacity to run for office? It's because I've been ridden hard through these systems. I bump up against them because they are not for all of us. And I'm happy to be a representation of why it doesn't work for everyone. And if it means that I'm outcasted by some of you and enemy imaged by some of you, I do like it. I'm not gonna lie, because it makes me more famous, but I don't want to say that because part of me will make you think I don't care about you and that I'm kind of teasing you, and I'm not, because I know you love to hate me. I don't want to stop you from hating me. Like, please enjoy hating me. I just love you for giving me your attention and for at least listening, because at least if you're hating me and you're listening, at least you're curious, and at least you're not just going along with what I say. You're questioning me. And guess what? I like my people who love Daisy more than I like you, but I don't learn as much from the people who love Daisy. I learn a lot from the people who feel disgust and shock and horror and flabbergastation when they see Daisy. And that's what I think about stealing.